Hey everybody, welcome to our new video. I'm Logan.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Trey.
And The Last Jedi is bad. Is it not? I mean, it's bad, right?
It's
I'm not
bad.
crazy.
The Last Jedi is the worst thing ever made by a human.
It's the most disappointing thing since my son.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's very bad.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
So, okay, we're going to go in depth as to why this movie's bad. And we're not talking about just that we didn't like it, obviously, right? Nobody here liked it.
No.
But it's not just that we didn't like it, it's just that, like, it didn't try to make us like it either. This movie is just bad.
It was like a cash grab, pretty much, you know?
Either that or it's just, I don't even know. What was... Okay, we got it.
Yeah.
It's like we...
Let's just go into the first thing.
Okay. So, the beginning. We're gonna talk about episode 7 and how this movie's supposed, like, episode 8 is supposed to take place directly after episode 7, right?
The sequel.
Yeah. It's like not even like there's no time jump. You're just supposed to go right into it.
Just
Okay,
right away.
and there's so many things that just don't make sense. First off, Snoke was all like, "Leave the base and come to me with Kylo Ren. It is time to complete his training." And it's like, okay, Hux immediately shows up at the Resistance base.
Yeah.
He doesn't go to Snoke, and Kylo doesn't learn anything in this movie from Snoke at all.
No, he does not.
And
He just gets like bitch slapped
Well,
by Force
even-
lightning.
yeah,
Even before any of the beginning scenes of this movie, even in the crawl, the first thing in the crawl of the movie, the first thing that's even uttered, it says, "The First Order rules the galaxy." And I think that's a bit of an overstatement. I mean, in the last movie, literally the end of Force Awakens was leading with the Resistance finally getting a win, like ever, and one of their first wins ever. And not only that, but they destroyed the home base and home planet of the First Order, and their gigantic death machine that killed an entire system.
yeah. Like, how are they ruling the galaxy? It's not like they had the numbers or the influence that the Empire had. They obviously didn't, because the Republic was ruling the galaxy, and they destroy the Republic. And we're just supposed to buy that the entire galaxy is just, hey, let's just listen to these guys now, even though they murdered our leaders.
I would be fine. Like I would be fine with it if it just said like the First Order has destroyed the Republic. Like that's true, but they do not rule the galaxy. Like there was no scenes in between that we could have seen within the time frame of when this movie happens for them to rule the entire galaxy.
That's just nuts.
No.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
also the beginning.
Yeah. So what else didn't make sense between episode 7 and 8?
Well, first off, there's a couple of questions that are answered. They're just answered very strangely, like who's alive and who's not. At the end of Force Awakens, we didn't know if Captain Phasma was alive.
Yeah.
The last thing we heard about her was that she might be in a trash compactor on Starkiller Base. And
I mean, I would have even been cool if they just like put that in the crawl that like Hux just saved them. Because now it's just completely left up to our assumption. Like,
Yeah.
what happened? How did Phasma get out of the trash compactor?
They don't explain.
Where did Hux find? How did Hux find Kylo and then get off Starkiller Base in time?
They don't
It's like if they just would have even just put like a little line of something in the crawl to just say that this happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. And then also with that, it was like. And then the whole tone shift between the scene with Rey and Luke on the island.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was really, like, important and epic in episode
Yeah.
7. They were standing, like, and Luke's face was just, to me, saying, I don't want to have to train you, but I have to. I know.
Yeah.
I know it. And then, like, when we see them again, he just, like, tosses the fucking lightsaber over his shoulder like salt over Harry's shoulder in Dumb and Dumber. He's like,
Yeah.
quick, toss some salt over your right shoulder. What the hell? Just like,
Yeah, but no, that's like one of my biggest problems because like obviously that's like the last thing you see in 7. Like, what is gonna happen? Like, want him to see him take the lightsaber and do something epic. But here's the thing I think is like one of the reasons, starting off with the beginning, that it went wrong is Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams. Like, Rian Johnson has his own plan mapped out of what he wants this movie to be, and he wants you to know right away. This is not J.J. Abrams' Star Wars. This is my Star Wars.
which I wouldn't have had a problem with as long as it's still kind of lined up in some way.
Yeah.
It's like, but I'm like, there was obviously a purpose to why JJ did those things, and now we're never gonna know what that was because
Yeah.
Last Jedi was bad and didn't even give a shit to
I'll put it
care.
this way: we went and saw Force Awakens in theaters 7 times, I believe.
Yeah.
7
Oh, yeah.
times. We paid money to go and watch Force Awakens 7 times in theaters because I absolutely was in love with this movie. And at the end of the movie, the last scene where Rey is holding out the lightsaber to Luke, I had goosebumps and I was jaw-dropped at how amazing this scene was and how, like, I was so pumped for the next movie. I just wanted to watch the next movie right afterwards.
Yeah, and that's like, that was the cool thing about going to see that movie in theaters. Is like, nobody's had to wait for a good Star Wars movie since, like, 1980.
Yeah.
Like, they had to wait for Return of the Jedi after Empire for 3 years. And we had to wait for Last Jedi after Force Awakens for 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we were so pumped to go see this movie. We had the lightsabers, we had all this stuff, and then we just get there and it was disappointing. But back to like the beginning thing. Also, so the whole Starkiller base fight was like a desperate attempt by the Resistance. Like, they didn't have a whole lot of ships. All they had was X-Wings from what we saw in Episode 7.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they got A-Wings, they got bombers, they got cruisers. I'm like, where did all these ships come from? And also, why weren't they used in Starkiller Base if this movie takes place right after, Episode 7? And I'm like, they could have just, they're all like, we don't have the firepower to get through the thermal oscillator. You had a shitload of bombers, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm like...
Yeah, because it's not like, oh, like, they can't even be like, oh, we got these for our allies or something like that. Because, I mean, later in the movie, apparently, no one gives a shit about the Rebellion or the Resistance anymore. So, like...
And they keep... Okay, here's another thing. They just keep going back and forth between calling it the Resistance and Rebels.
Yes.
In this one, too.
They do.
I'm just like, okay... I don't understand why a lot of people don't have a problem with this, because everybody had a problem with, like, Episode 7 being too much like A New Hope.
Yeah.
And they're all like, and like, it was an ongoing joke that whenever I talk to people, they're all like, and they're trying to tell me why they don't like Episode 7, they're all like, and then the Rebels, oh sorry, the Resistance. And I'm like, that was like an ongoing joke, and then everybody's like just cool with this. They're them literally going back and forth calling them Resistance and Rebels.
Rebels scum.
Yeah, no, we're getting to that. We'll get to that. So, yeah, that's all the stuff I think for the beginning. Is there anything else you guys can think of? Because I'm just like, nothing between these movies makes sense.
No.
So what do you think, guys? Tell us what you thought about Last Jedi in the comments. This will be about a 12 video long series, so keep an eye out for it. It's going to be so much editing for me, but yeah, like, subscribe, share this video around, and yeah, I hope you stick around with us here at Full Time Fans. See ya.